Hello students, let us learn the lesson tissues. All living organisms are made of cells. Cells are the structural and functional units of all living organisms, or cells are the building blocks of all living organisms. In unicellular organisms, a single cell performs all basic functions. For example, in amoeba, a single cell carries out movement, intake of food, respiration, excretion. But in multicellular organisms, there are millions of cells. These cells are grouped based on their similarity in structure and the function they perform. Such group of cells or cluster of cells are called tissues. So, a group of cells that are similar in structure and work together to achieve a particular function is called a tissue. A group of cells that are similar in structure and work together to achieve a particular function is called a tissue. Example, blood, muscles, phloem, these are all examples for tissues. What is the use of these tissues in multicellular organisms? In human beings, muscle cells contract and relax to cause movement. Nerve cells carry messages. Blood flows to transport oxygen, food, hormones, and waste material. In plants, vascular tissues, xylem and phloem, conduct food and water from one part of the plant to the other part of the plant body. So, multicellular organisms show division of labor. Multicellular organisms show division of labor. This is the utility of tissues in multicellular organisms. There are two types of tissues. They are plant tissues and animal tissues. Plant tissues are classified as meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Now, let us learn about meristematic tissue. The tissue which is found in all growing regions is called meristematic tissue. This tissue is meant only for growth. This tissue has the capacity to divide to form new cells. It is composed of embryonic cells. It occurs in regions such as root tip, stem apex and buds. You can see the location of apical meristem, intercalary meristem and lateral meristem. Apical meristem is located at the shoot tip, which makes the plant grow taller, and lateral meristem adds to the girth or perimeter of the plant body. Permanent tissue. The cells formed by meristematic tissue take up a specific role and lose the ability to divide. As a result, they form a permanent tissue. This process of taking up a permanent shape, size and function is called differentiation. What is differentiation? The process of taking up a permanent shape, size and a function is called differentiation. Permanent tissues are classified as simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. Now let us see the simple permanent tissues. They are parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. You can see the parenchyma cells. What is the structure of parenchyma cells? They are round, elongated, and they are loosely packed or loosely arranged. There is a space between the cells. This space is known as intercellular space. Parenchyma cells are living cells with thin cell wall. These cells are found in soft parts of the plant like root, stem and leaf. Parenchyma cells with chloroplasts are called chlorenchyma. In aquatic plants, this intercellular space is filled with air, so they are called aerenchyma. Because of the presence of aerenchyma, aquatic plants float on the surface of water. Students, page number 70. Simple permanent tissue. In that aerenchyma, chlorenchyma, underline these words. What are the functions of parenchyma cells? 1. It provides support to the plant body. 2. It stores food. 3. It takes part in photosynthesis. 4. It stores nutrients and water. Students, write the functions of parenchyma tissue in your notebook. Collenchyma cells. It is made of living cells. The cells are closely packed and thick-walled at the corners where the cells join. Students, observe the diagram. What is the function of collenchyma? It provides mechanical support and it is flexible in the regions where they occur, such as veins of the leaf and stems of young plants. Because of its flexibility, it allows easy bending in various parts of a plant, such as leaf and stem, without breaking. Sclerenchyma cells or sclerenchyma tissue. They have thick cell wall. Cells are elongated. Cell wall is made of lignin. This tissue provides strength to the plant body. Husk of a coconut is made of sclerenchyma tissue. It is present in stems, in the veins of leaves, and in the hard covering of seeds and nuts. The plant body is externally covered by a tissue known as epidermis. Epidermis of the leaf consists of tiny pores called stomata. What are stomata or what is a stomata? Epidermis of the leaf consists of tiny pores called stomata. Students, look at the screen. Stomata. Observe the diagram. Each stoma has a pair of bean-shaped cells. They are called guard cells. Observe the diagram. Look at the guard cells. They are bean-shaped cells. What is the function of guard cells? The guard cells help in closing and opening of the stomata and control the rate of transpiration. Guard cells control the rate of transpiration. Write the functions of epidermis. It gives protection to all the parts of the plant body. It gives protection against loss of water. In desert plants, epidermis has a thick waxy substance called cuticle. It gives protection against loss of water. Stomata help in the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen with the atmosphere. Transpiration takes place through stomata. Students, write the functions of epidermis in your notebook. The tissues which are made of one type of cells which look like each other are called simple permanent tissues. Tissues which are made of one type of cells and they look like each other are called simple permanent tissues. Complex permanent tissues. Complex permanent tissues are made of more than one type of cells. Complex permanent tissues are made of more than one type of cells. Xylem and phloem are the two complex permanent tissues. Xylem and phloem are called vascular tissues, or they are called conducting tissues. Xylem transports water and mineral salts absorbed by the roots to all parts of the plant body, especially to the leaves. Hence it is called a water conducting tissue. There are four types of xylem tissues. They are tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem fibers. Xylem tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem fibers. Xylem vessels and tracheids conduct or transport water and minerals. What is the function of xylem vessels? Xylem tracheids, they conduct water and minerals. Xylem parenchyma stores food. Xylem parenchyma stores food. Xylem fibers, they provide support. They provide mechanical strength to the other tissues. Students, write this question in your notebook. Name the four types of xylem tissues or xylem fibers and write their function. Page number 73. Refer your textbook, page number 73. Phloem is a food conducting tissue. It transports the food prepared in the green parts of the plant to all other regions. Phloem tissue consists of four types of cells. 1. Sieve tubes. 2. Companion cells. 3. Phloem fibers. 4. Phloem parenchyma. What is the function of sieve tubes? Sieve tubes conduct the food, help in the conduction of food. Companion cells. Cells closely associated with the sieve tube are called companion cells. They control the passage of food through the phloem. Phloem fibers. What is the function of phloem fibers? They provide strength to the plant body. Phloem parenchyma. They carry on the normal functions of parenchyma cells. Students, write this question in your notebook. Name the four types of phloem tissues and write their function. Now let us learn the animal tissues. The animal tissues are epithelial tissue 1, second one is muscular tissue, 3. connective tissue, 4. nervous tissue. Epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, nervous tissue. Now let us learn about epithelial tissue. The covering or protective tissues in the animal body is epithelial tissue. The skin, the lining of the mouth, the lining of blood vessels, lung alveoli, and kidney tubules are all made of epithelial tissues. Epithelial tissue with flat plate-like cells is called squamous epithelium. You can see squamous epithelium in the diagram. The esophagus and the lining of stomach are covered with squamous epithelium. These are thin, flat and form a delicate lining.